Thank you, August. Sorry, thanks for inviting me to be here. It's very interesting to talk about FinTech in Lithuania again. When we started working, it seemed like this topic is totally not very hot, except a few exceptions, but now it feels like it becomes hot topic both in UK at least, where we focus our efforts and time now, and it starts becoming more and more hot here, so that's nice. So yes, we started just the journey. It's very interesting the way you look at it. At some point, I look at it that we are on very, very early stages. We try to get out of countryside, as we call it, Baltics. Once you get out in London, who has been in London?
Who has not?
There are not everyone raised their hands, so either you haven't or you're still sleeping. So I'll try to ask questions, right, to make sure that you're alive. But for me, once you get out of the tube there, you realize how many people are there. It's a bit different feeling, right? So it's like 11 million people city, you could feel immediate. So that's the journey as it started. So my presentation is kind of two parts. First, a bit about ourselves. Probably you already know a lot, but maybe not everything. And then there's a couple of points, how we see it, where we are going. So when we initially started talking about mobile payments, right? And probably some of you heard. Who has heard about WoraPay, by the way, before this? Okay. Who has used us? Oh, quite a few, nice. So basically, we started with that. We said, let's do something in mobile payments. That's a big buzzword. Apple Pay at that time was not kind of yet created. And we started. Now you have Apple Pay, Samsung Pay. If you've heard the news coming to UK, Apple Pay is already working in UK. Both of them work in the United States as well. So it's really a kind of big thing in mobile payments. Samsung tries to create its own solution next to Android. Samsung is Android, yes. And of course we had some Lithuanians like MokiPay, one of the early ones, probably. Who knows MokiPay? Who saw this? Some of you remember, right? Paysera tries to be in that market, and then kind of we came up. But we immediately saw a bit of kind of issue that if you come to the counter and you want to pay, there's actually not such a big problem today. If you have a credit card, is it really not convenient to pay with your plastic card? Moreover, now, for example, in UK, all plastic cards are contactless, so they have the contactless chip. So basically, you come to the counter, you touch, you don't need to enter the PIN code, and you pay. Yes, there is a limit, but that's it. So our premise from very beginning in Lithuania was paying at the counter is not so much broken, and we don't want to focus there. When Apple Pay launched that solution, we were very eager because we saw that it somehow does not work for us, but we thought, okay, maybe for Apple it works. You know, Apple is big, giant. They have lots of money to push it. But if you look at statistics, it's not flying or growing as fast as they would like to. Yes, it finds its own place and everything, but it's not the most successful that story, if you will. Who knows, did Apple mention anything about Apple Pay during last September talk? Who watches Apple talks on September, the big ones? Did they mention?
Don't remember.
No, they didn't. They mentioned the year before when they launched, and then they didn't. So that kind of tells something about it, right? So what we say, paying at the counter, yes, there are some places where it will kind of be, but with mobile phones probably takes the time. If you talk about Lithuania, I know that we are sitting in this bank, but banks are already talking to card providers. So probably very soon banks will start issuing contactless plastic cards. So once that generation changes, then when you come to the shop, instead of putting the card and putting your PIN code, you'll be able just to touch that machine and to pay like that to some limit. So that's coming, of course, 5 years later than UK, for example. So where is the problem? The problem is sometimes it happens that you want to give money to your retailer, to merchant, and they don't take it. They force you to stand in the queue. Anyone stood in the queue today to pay for something? Coffee, 1 person, 2 person. All the rest didn't pay anything. This week, did you stand in the queue to pay for anything? Few. Would you like to avoid that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And standing means not maybe officially standing. When you sit in the restaurant, who went to lunch today? Who had lunch outside in the restaurant somewhere today? So you mean you didn't wait for your bill? Once you finished, you stand up and walked? Sorry? So you put cash and leave without the bill. Yeah, that's what we do. And basically, if you take every lunch you wait, so that's kind of restaurant. In London alone, we counted people drink a lot of coffee there, so for morning and lunch coffee, they usually stand about 12 minutes in a queue a day. So if you multiply that, it's about 73 hours a year, not that bad, right? So it's quite a bit of savings could be done. And what retailers are doing now, they're putting these kind of machines. Who has been in McDonald's in Panorama? You saw probably that kind of machine, right? They don't take your money anymore, they force you. They do, but they force you to go to machine, to place your order, to put your credit card details, and then kind of you get your food served, right? If you go to any, this is Tesco example, but they have fast kind of lanes that you still serve yourself and then pay and go, right? Just to kind of stop the waiting. If you want to go to some restaurants, they already have tablets on the table, so you select your food yourself and you pay yourself and you just leave, right? But that's quite expensive for the retailer to handle. So what we say, why person cannot do that from his own mobile? Every one of you coming to that shop have a very good hardware, you paid for it yourself. So through software connection, it could be possible, right? And it would be great if we would be alone, that we would be thinking like that. Many companies think like that and create many apps that support that. For example, this is a Pay Quicker by MasterCard Pay at the Table app. PayPal is going to that direction. This is Pay at the Table app. These two are coffee ordering apps. MyCheck is a restaurant app. So it's what happens now. You go to one street here in Constitucijos Prospektas. You have, I don't know, 100 probably retailers. Every of them has an app, and you have to put, for example, your credit card details. So if you're going to 20 places for lunch a month, you'll have to have at least 20 apps to be able to pay from the table. Doesn't sound like a good solution, right? Your phone might look like this. Yes, Apple Apple increases the size of the iPhone, right? So we can go that direction, but I'm not sure that's the decision to go. So basically, we looked at it, and what happens, these are all, why? Because these are all closed solutions. We have, with this app, you can pay at this retailer. With this app, you can pay at this retailer, right? Anyone is using Caffeine app? You put your money on it, and then you pay? No? I put my money on it.
I get 10% from the money.
So just loyalty, but so you don't pay. You just get loyal. But you can upload the money and use it. So now imagine if after I get my salary, I upload my money to Cofounder, to Šviežia Kava, to Vero Coffee, and 20 euros each, right? It's just locked, right? It's not a good solution. In London, we use this example to exemplify the problem. Probably those who were in London know about Oyster card, right? This is a card that you preload the money and you can travel. Vilnius travel card would be a similar example. I think 3 weeks ago I was in MasterCard doing presentation and asked how many of you guys sitting using the Oyster card. Everyone travels. What do you think the answer is? What percentage of people are using today Oyster card? Everyone is traveling, assuming.
Everyone.
Everyone? No. 1/3. So what the others are using? Yeah, exactly. They use contactless credit card or Apple Pay because it works, because that's the same contactless. That's the same. They're using, because this is NFC as a standard. So instead of using closed solution to uploading your money here and then keeping it locked, you're using generic banking card basically to pay, or Apple Pay. So the point is, closed solutions are good, but they don't survive for long because they are not so convenient for the client. Right? So basically, this was our promise, and what we created a backend platform basically, which is business-to-business solution that connects any existing wallet, payment option, and you can pay at any retail. Those who are in Lithuania probably know good examples. I can go to takeaway restaurant here next. I can open my Medicinos banking app. I can click, scan the QR code. I will get my bill of my table to my Medicinos bank app. I confirm the payment. I stand and I leave, and the retailer knows that I paid the bill. Yes, we offered that the same to Swedbank, but they say it's a bit too early for us. So technology-wise, it works. It's business decision when big banks like Swedbank could use this technology. Today, technically, or legally, there is no problem for you to do that from Swedbank or SAVY banking. Another option could be you use WoraPay app, for example, which you attach your credit card. So that's if you are banking with SEB or SEB or whatever, it doesn't matter. You attach your credit card, you go to Lukoil, you scan the code, you get the bill directly to your phone, you confirm the payment, you sit in the car and leave. So you don't need to go to the cashier and side at all to talk, to wait until someone gets his hot dog in the front row, right? During summer, everyone will be going to the seaside, so if you want to be fast with fueling your card, use this basic solution. Or you're a Bitcoin fan, how many of people here has Bitcoins? 2. That's 3. That's the penetration of Bitcoin in the world, right? In Lithuania, right? Probably not even Lithuania. So basically, you can open SpectroCoin app, which is access your Bitcoins. You the same scan the code at Lukoil, at the any restaurant, at any e-commerce shop, and you can pay with them. So we connect. So this is kind of our goal. We're connecting any payment institution with any retailer, but we are focusing for those remote scenarios that allow you to save time, not just pay. So that's why we say we are self-service platform where mobile payment is hidden. So for now, we stop talking about mobile payments. We say we provide services where payment just happen to be hidden peacefully. Does it make sense?
Yes.
It's very hard to explain, so I'm trying to learn how to explain it. So tell me. So this is what we were doing in Lithuania. We tried many scenarios. I mentioned petrol, restaurants, arenas. Žalgiris and Švyturys Arena is using the solution. Žalgiris stopped for now because today they're launching Arena Pay solution, the closed solution. So you're getting your plastic card. It's NFC enabled. You will upload the money to. You have to stand in the queue, and instead of paying, you will touch to pay. So they are a bit downgraded, but hopefully they will upgrade very soon. So what's the journey? Yes, as I said, we are in Lithuania, actually Latvia and Estonia works. Estonia, we have a partner, Latvia Lukoil works, and we have, if you count Estonia, 6 wallets that you can pay from any of those. And then we went to London in Q4, we launched, we took 2 mobile wallets, one is Bitcoin, another one is credit card you can attach. Of course, 99.99 people use this one. And we're expanding in London now, actually in Halifax, also in other buildings. The growth looks like this. When we started, the last month is we had more than 5,000 transactions. So if you divide that by 22 working days, because mainly it works during working days, people are using it, it's about 300-400 transactions a day. So that's a nice growth, and we're seeing the same growth there, so that's nice. Other big thing that through Startup Bootcamp program, which I'll tell in a second, we got in contact with MasterCard and Lloyds Banking Group. So we don't have official contract yet, so no one please tweet that we have a contract with them. But we're working to finalize those that MasterCard would connect its payment method, and Lloyds Banking Group would use us as a kind of added value service for their clients. So working. So you know, when you are from countryside like Vilnius, so actually myself, I'm from Marijampolė, and when you talk with guys like this, it kind of gets a bit of feeling that something what we're doing is really, really interesting globally. This is our team, so just to mention, Lithuanians you might know and might heard about us, but when you go to new market, it's very, very important to find a local person. So we are very happy that we find Richard Jackson. Actually, he sold his company before, which model was very similar, but that's one of the tips what you have to do if you want to go to mid-market. You have to find a really solid person that can take your business and move it there. Yes, we fly a lot, yes, we be there a lot, but still someone that has to drive that from the local market. So we are happy with that, and then there is another guy, Tom, so we have 2 employees in London already. And through the program, we really managed to get a grant and Andrea as advisors in our company, so they advise us on strategic level. So again, getting these advisors is really, really helps a lot. Very nice slide to show for awards. So what we're doing, is it interesting? And my mom loves this picture the most, because you have a picture with the president, mom and grandmom loves that, right? But when you go to UK, no one cares about that. We got the most innovative company award in Lithuania given by Lithuanian president. That's fine locally. But that's nice that we got that we are among hottest 50 FinTech companies in Europe. We were selected for finalists in Card and Payments Awards, and as I mentioned, we joined in last autumn Startup Bootcamp FinTech program. This is a bit accelerator like we have here.
Startup Highway,
that would be an example. It's focused on FinTech, so once you enter, they have lots of connections. So those connections we use to get access to the market and grow so fast. If it would just go 2 of us, me and co-founder Aivaras, sit down and open an office and try to do everything without the help, we wouldn't be there where we are today. And the best thing to note that, yes, before, half a year ago, quite a lot of Verslo žinios, the business magazine, was writing about us in Lithuania. That's very nice. But now people are noticing us in the UK, and this is like yesterday, the trends report in FinTech was published by PwC and Startup Bootcamp as a corporation, and we already mentioned that, so it's nice that we try to get our little piece of our ideas to the global trends. So that's it. To finish, maybe 3 things that I would advise if anyone ever think about going to big countries like this. So we just started, so that's a very, very early learnings what we got, but 3 main things is, when you go to bigger market, you are defocused a lot. There's so much opportunities, so much things, so many clients, and so big names, and Tesco's. Even in Costa Nero, Cofounder talked to us. You can imagine how big it is. But you have to find your way and really sharp and not do everything. That's kind of, if you go to bigger market, it's more opportunities and it's even harder to focus. Second thing is, of course, the team you have to find, and I would add local guys. So you have to have local people, because you can fly a lot, but you don't understand the culture, you don't understand the area, so it's really, really crucial to find one. And then find a way to get you contacts, especially like we are B2B company, business to business, so we needed to get warm introduction. You can find many people on LinkedIn, but usually they don't reply. But if someone from UK, like Richard, writes, that's totally different way. Or like through Startup Bootcamp, how many connections we got, it's amazing, and those helps the business. So thanks, and that's was about us and a little bit about our journey.
Also, one question from myself.
Yeah.
Your Facebook wall was full of Lloyd's people drinking coffee. What's the story behind it? I mean, how did you do it practically? You mentioned them, but how was customer experience being tested?
Yeah, so actually all the growth is, at the beginning we wanted to target, to tell full story, high street brands as it's called. Here would be coffee and things like that. Świeża kawa. There is big ones, Coffee Nero and Costa in London. But once we realized that through our partnership with Lloyd's, those companies have huge buildings, 2,000 people sit in one building, 600 people, and downstairs there is a cafeteria, inside cafeteria, behind security. So people are making decisions, I'm going downstairs to drink coffee and pay 1.2, 1.8 pounds for that, that's the normal price, or I'll go through security to the high street, to the street, and go to those high street. So basically that's what we're utilizing now. We got behind security, and we are launching through different Lloyd's offices in the buildings. What we managed, in 1 week we managed on board half of the building employees to use the service, and third of the drink sales are being done through our solution. So why would you go downstairs to stand in the queue? You order it from your phone, you go to the elevator down, once you're down it's made. So basically that's the growth, and that's most of the numbers are coming from that. In total, already more than 20,000 cups of coffee was sold. But you could replicate the same, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to call that name, but if you were in, for example, here, there is a cafeteria downstairs, right?
It is.
And I assume sometimes there is a queue for coffee.
Sure.
So Swedbank can make the decision, do they want to force their people to stand in the queue if they want that coffee, or they want to skip that total. We counted, that's a very nice thing, if Richard says person average saves 3 minutes, not 6. Okay, 3 minutes. There is about 90,000 Lloyd's Bank employees. If you multiply that and you multiply by average salary, once launched, our solution will save £3 million for Lloyd's Banking Group. 3 million. Just multiplying that 3 minutes every day, every year average. So that's kind of improvement an office gets from having this service.
Okay, thanks.
So if Swedbank wants to improve your time, you can talk.
Okay, so just one question left.
I would like to ask about your pricing. Just I read what you would like to increase a bit. What is your ideas now after, let's see?
You want to increase the pricing?
Yeah, I read it that in Verslo žinios, but since last year you decided that you will be more expensive, charging, let's say, for transactions. But maybe you already
I'm always now scared to talk with journalists because they write something, not you have to be very specific what they tell. No, we stick to the same pricing. The only problem is that because 99% of transactions are now going through card not present transactions, if anyone knows what that means, it's electronic, not when you come and put the PIN code, but through electronic. So those are much more expensive. So, but that's the normal cost. If any retailer wants to run an e-shop, he will pay much more for credit card transactions than he pays at the terminal. So that's kind of one piece of that. And second piece is our service that we charge on top. So we didn't increase in anyhow our service. It's just for Lithuania, we definitely had a lower price. Basically, we did not earn any money here. We are going a bit to minus. But in general now, we are selling that at the normal price, so we earn. But again, if you look at that, one cafeteria earns 500 extra pounds in one location. So if you see that as an upsells, you are happy to pay 70 pounds or whatever for that service, right? So if you look at the payment method, that's a cost. If you look at it as a new service that increases your sales, you can pay 3, 4, 5%.
When it's 3% now?
Sorry?
3% now?
You want to hear official pricing?
Just
I can tell you next to the coffee.
Yeah, okay.